Welcome to EP's Movie Magic Scheduling 10 overview. On the home screen, you'll find your key functions. Click New Schedule on this PC to start, or click EP Cloud Backup to access your saved backups. Or, get started from a schedule saved to your computer. Check your account info in the top right corner. Review who's logged in or sign out. Under Movie Magic Scheduling, click About Movie Magic Scheduling to view your version and other basic information. Let's start by opening a new schedule. Under File, Create or Open Schedules, access EP Cloud Backups, save files, import scripts, or export. More on these to come. In the top right, you'll find Undo, Redo, and Save buttons. Here is where you can confirm which schedule you're working on to keep you oriented. In this example, the schedule is New Schedule. This asterisk shows this schedule isn't saved. You can view other open schedules by clicking the down arrow. Here you have the option to close schedules. The application is then broken out into various sections, including Breakdown, Stripboard, Calendar, Day Out of Days, Elements, and Reports. Navigate between these sections by clicking the corresponding tabs. Let's look at this sample schedule's Stripboard. In each tab, you are working with a specific Stripboard and a specific segment. In MMS 10, you can work with multiple Stripboards and create as many breakdown sheets as needed. Each breakdown sheet can be viewed as a strip in the Stripboard section. You can also review the breakdown sheet and the Stripboard together in a split-screen display. Click the menu icon in the upper right corner and select Stripboard and Breakdown. Navigate between breakdown sheets using the arrows at the top of the screen. To create more Stripboards, go to Stripboard and select Add Stripboard. This feature lets you organize scenes. Note that creating new Stripboards does not duplicate breakdown sheets. New Stripboards will be empty. To access breakdown sheets for your new Stripboard, navigate to Segment and select Boneyard. Once you have found the scenes in the Boneyard, move them to a Stripboard by selecting your strips and then right-click. Select Move to Default. Go back to your default segment to review. You can further organize scenes within the Stripboard by reordering. For example, you can prioritize shooting exterior scenes during daylight hours by rearranging them accordingly. To reorder scenes, click and drag. You can also cut and paste scenes. Do so by right-clicking the strip and select Cut. Then, right-click the strip that you want before the pasted strip and click Paste. To customize your strip's layout, go to the Design menu and click Stripboard, Strip Designer. Here you can customize the number of columns and rows in your strips. You can also customize the size of the columns and what information is included. Click Strip Colors to update your strip's shades. Now, let's explore the calendar. On the right, find your Stripboards and their segments. Select the Stripboard and segment to view. You can navigate calendar dates with these arrows. Click Today to return to today's date. To go to a specific date, input it and click Go. Verify your start date. To adjust, navigate to the date on the calendar, right-click, and select Set as Start Date. Confirm that the change was applied and continue with any modifications. To add items to your calendar, right-click on a date and choose from Working Day, Off Day, Company Travel, Holiday, or add an event. Display Stripboard strips by choosing View and selecting the Stripboard Strips checkbox. It is important to note that this calendar is only for your selected segment within your selected Stripboard. It is not universal across all segments and Stripboards. If needed, you can duplicate a segment or Stripboard to test changes while keeping your original calendar. To set repeating off days, go to the three dots beside the segment name and select. Let's revisit the Stripboard section and cover adding Daybreaks. To add a daybreak, select the strip that needs to be the last seen before the daybreak. Select the Add Daybreak button. The daybreak will appear below the strip you selected. Note that the dates shown on the daybreaks mirror the dates on your calendar. For example, your first daybreak will show your start date. If you have a date set for travel, the daybreak skips to the next working day. Once your daybreaks are set, you will see the day number and number of strips shot on that day in the calendar. To save your schedule, go to File and select Save As, if you have not already saved, or Save, to save progress on an already saved file. Or click the arrow next to your schedule name and click Close Schedule. You will be prompted to save and close, discard changes and close, or cancel. Choose where you want to save your file and click Save. Now, back on the home screen, let's cover working from a saved schedule. Click Open Schedule. Find your schedule and click Open. When importing an MMS6 file, it will be marked with an asterisk because this version has yet to be saved in MMS10. Save the file by selecting Save or Save As. On the Stripboard screen, click the arrow to view stripboards created in this schedule. This example shows 3 stripboards: Actor Scenario, Location Scenario, and Scene Order. Note that daybreaks are specific to each stripboard and do not carry over between stripboards. As a reminder, breakdown sheets not used in a specific stripboard will be in that stripboard's boneyard. The calendar screen will mirror your selected stripboard showing start day, daybreaks, off days, and any other day specifics you set. Let's cover importing a script. This example will show importing a script into a new schedule. While you can enter individual scenes, you also have the choice to import your scripts for automated breakdowns sheets based on your script. To do so, your script must be tagged using software like Final Draft. Tagging entails labeling items in the script based on their categories, like cast members, background actors, or props. Navigate to File and select Import Script. Pick your script file and click Open. A notice will show a count of imported sheets. These sheets will be in the boneyard of each stripboard you created. To view, go to Segment and click Boneyard. You can edit and add to the sheets as needed. For more information on individual fields, check out the MMS manual. Now, let's go over adding banners. Banners are used to add notes or show tasks for a given day on the stripboard. These are specific to stripboards and do not carry over between stripboards. To add a banner, click Add Banner. Enter your text. If your banner takes up any amount of time, for example a company move, you have the option to add time duration. This will recalculate your day's total time to accommodate for the event in the banner. In the header of the stripboard screen, you will find multiple functions. Your production start date displays, which you can edit from the calendar. Select off days to review your schedule's repeating off days, which can also be edited from the calendar. Use Move To move your strips between segments. To delete a strip, select your strip and click Delete. Right-click and select Delete Strip, or use Backspace or Delete on the keyboard. You will be asked to confirm your selection. Note that deleting a strip removes it from all stripboards. To add day breaks in bulk, click the arrow beside Add Daybreak. There are 4 options: Insert by Page 8s, Insert by Time to Shoot, Insert by Screen Time, and Remove all day breaks. After you have made your choice, click Apply. Now, let's go over breakdown sheets. Breakdown sheet categories are used to tag specific items essential for a scene. If you chose to import your script, tagged items will be available here. To add an item, click in the field under the category you need. Either select from the drop-down or type your new item and click Add or use Enter on your keyboard. The new item is now an element available throughout your schedule and is added to this breakdown sheet. You can also copy and paste items to other breakdown sheets. Select a single item or multiple items by keying Command or Control-click or Shift-click. Right-click your selection and choose Copy or Cut. Now, navigate to your needed breakdown sheet, right-click the category, and select Paste or use your keyboard shortcut. To quickly add elements, use the Quick Add feature. Begin typing your element and use your up and down arrows to highlight the element. Then, key Enter to select. Your cursor will stay active in the Quick Add field if you have more to add. When adding a new element in Quick Add, you will be prompted to select the element's category. Once you add the new element, click back into the Quick Add field to continue. Use the Add Category button to add more categories. To add a new breakdown sheet, click the Add Sheet button. The new sheet will open below the sheet you were on in your stripboard. In the instance that you need to split a scene into multiple sheets, click the arrow next to Add Sheet and select Duplicate Sheet. Confirm and rename your new sheet. This allows you to adjust each sheet without having to redo any work. As a reminder, any new strips will only show in your current stripboard and will be placed in the boneyard for other stripboards. To insert new strips into other stripboards, go to your boneyard. Select your strips. Right-click and select Move to and Default. The strips will display at the bottom of your schedule and can be moved. MMS 10 has the option to sort your stripboards. To do so, click Sort. Click the field and choose the category you want to sort by. Scene Order will sort the scenes numerically. You can add up to 2 other sort rules. Click plus Sort Rule and choose from the list. To remove sort rules, click the Delete icon. When ready, click Sort. Once your breakdowns are created and organized, you can focus on the Day Out of Days screen. Here, you can review elements and their individual schedules. This screen pulls data from the created breakdown sheets, stripboard, and calendar to assign each element their working days. To change categories, go to Category and make your choice. Blank rectangles show that the element is not working that day. Company days off will present as gray columns. For questions on work codes, refer to the MMS manual. To set Day Out of Days rules, navigate to the element and click the Edit icon. Choose to change the element's name, board ID, category, and more. For Day Out of Day rules, you can allow hold days, allow drop and/or pickup, and set minimum days between drop/pickup. Hold days indicate days between start and finish days where the element is not working but is being paid, showing the element can be called in. Drop days are used when there are enough days between an element's workdays to be dropped until they are needed again. The element will not be paid for the days they are dropped. If you choose to set a minimum days between drop and/or pickup, it will drop the element after your chosen number of days and pick them back up when they need to return. If needed, you can set default Day Out of Day rules for entire categories. To do this, go to the Elements screen, navigate to the category, and click the Edit icon. Here you can set any default rules. The rules will be applied to each element in the category. Please note that this will not backfill any existing elements and will only apply to new elements moving forward. For more information on hold rules and calculating total worked and held days, check out the MMS manual. Any conflicts within your schedule will show a conflict icon. This indicates that the element is scheduled in different segments on the same day or has overlapping events. The conflicts will mirror in your calendar and in the Elements screen. In the calendar, you can set events. These were known as red flags in MMS 6. Events are often used for non-shoot related activities like travel days, fittings, or rehearsals. To create an event, right-click your needed date and select Plus Event. Naming your event is optional. Select your event's date or range. Choose your event type from the drop-down. Set your preferred color for the event label. Use the Add Elements field to tag elements. After creating an event, You will be notified if there is a conflict with an icon on the event date. Click the conflict icon to review. Any conflicts from your day out of days will also appear in your calendar and the top right of the screen. Please note that conflicts do not prevent you from working with your current schedule and only function as notification in case a change is needed. The Elements screen allows you to review and edit elements and categories. The board ID, which is typically represented numerically, indicates the most important to least important elements per category and can be organized for your specific needs. Any element without a board ID will appear at the top or bottom of the list. In your stripboard, board IDs display in the strip, showing that that element appears in that scene. To add a category within the Elements screen, click plus Category. Edit categories by clicking the edit icon beside a category's name. To edit an element, navigate to it and double-click. To add an element, click Add. When making bulk edits, it is helpful to lock any elements you don't need to change. Click the lock icon to lock or double-click an element's name and check lock ID. Use the Sort menu to sort elements. You can also click column names to sort by that column. To arrange elements in a custom order, make sure you are in Custom Sort Order and click the 3 lines in an element row. Move to your needed placement. Once you have sorted your elements, you can renumber them. Click Renumber ID and enter the number you need to begin the renumbering. Remember, any elements that are locked will not be affected. To make bulk edits, check an Elements checkbox or click the Select All checkbox and make changes. To move an element to another category, select the element and use the Move To drop-down to choose its new category. All information will be carried over with the element. You can also link elements so you can associate components that must be grouped together. Double-click the element and click the Linked Elements tab. Use the Add Element drop-down or type to search. Click the Notes tab for a free field where you can make more information about an element discoverable. Lastly, you can create an event from an element to connect an element to a project-related activity that is not part of the shoot schedule or to mark if an element is unavailable. Get started by clicking Add Event. MMS 10 offers 4 reports: one-line schedule, shooting schedule, day out of days, and elements. The one-line schedule follows the style of your stripboard and depicts your selected stripboard and segment. To make changes, click the Settings icon. Choose to remove any column or row categories or adjust column and row sizing. Like columns will be highlighted in green and rows will be highlighted in blue. Preview changes before saving. You can also change the number of columns and rows. Choose to scale height to content and update cell alignment for a strip. There's also the option to adjust column width in the report preview. When ready, click Save and Close. The shooting schedule breaks out each strip and shows details and categories for that scene. Make changes the same way you would for the one-line schedule. You can also choose which categories appear in your report if you need a shooting schedule for a particular category. The Day Out of Days report replicates the Day Out of Days screen. Be aware that if your number of elements exceeds 1 page, the report will show a given number of elements schedules before moving on and starting the schedule over at the next group of elements. You can also choose to run the report for specific elements only. The last report is the Elements report. This report is similar to the Elements list. It shows the element's board ID, element name, number of occurrences, page count, and number of days. Choose between categories as you would on the Day Out of Days report. For each report, select the Layout drop-down for more customization options. To wrap up, you can export a report as a PDF, or you can choose to print. That concludes the overview of MMS 10. For more help resources, refer to the Movie Magic Scheduling Manual.